Welcome back to another episode of the GC Informer. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula, and I've got news. Funny that, because that's the show. We will start with a little story concerning Campo Santo, the developers of Firewatch, who have decided, well, they've sort of decided, but anyway, they've basically joined up with Valve. They've become part of Valve in what appears to be a slightly hands-off relationship on Valve's part, which is a very good thing in my mind because, well, you know, Valve aren't very good at getting hands-on. We've seen this with Steam. Anyway, they've joined forces, they've come together, and this is basically due to just some conversations that the owners of Campo Santo and some representatives of Valve had, and they just apparently merge well as companies. They have the same ideals, they know what they want, they just want to make good games and they have a passion for it. This is according to a statement on Campo Santo's devlog for their game, what's it called? In the Valley of Gods, which is their current project. That is not changing, fortunately. That game is not being cancelled or fiddled with it in any way by Valve. All that's happening is that it will have the Valve name in the credits, because it's technically going to be developed by Valve, even though it's Campo Santo. So, quite a good little relationship agreement in my mind, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, actually. Little indie studios that are producing quality content getting bought up by one of the biggest companies in the gaming industry that aren't EA might be a good thing. It might just give them that bit of extra budget to make some really, really great games, and I just hope they don't fuck it up like EA always do. So, let's remain optimistic for a change. Switch owners, I have news for you regarding the ability to hack and homebrew on the Switch. The Switch has for a while had quite good security when it comes to breaking into it and getting into all these sorts of homebrew type things where you can load operating systems onto the console or play just external games on it. But due to what is actually a hardware bug, it's a specifically, is it a ROM boot? A boot ROM bug. That's always fun. There's a glitch in the boot ROM, which means that you can exploit the system, crack it open, and do lots of things on it. This is actually a problem that can't be fixed by patching because it is a hardware issue. So to fix this issue going forward, all of Nintendo's newer Switches, the ones that come out after this has sort of been released, are going to have had a modification on the Tegra chip and the associated bits there that are inside it, so that this can't happen. But as it stands, any Switches that are currently on the market can theoretically be cracked, and you can load Linux onto them, as the releases of this information have done, and played Doom 3 on the Switch. Why not? This information had apparently been going sort of back and forth between Google, Nintendo, and Nvidia for 90 days, which this team of hackers have designated as their sort of deadline for companies to actually do anything with before releasing the information to the public. And I do get why they're doing this, and they have stated that they personally only ever do it for homebrew releases. And they said that this information would get leaked anyway, but the fact is they're doing it because, you know, they've notified the people involved and they've given them plenty of notice. So there are concerns, of course, and valid concerns, whether this crack could be used to pirate games, and that's certainly a possibility, and more than likely will happen. But at the same time, I will say this with piracy, as I'll say with just piracy on any platform, they weren't going to be a customer anyway. If they pirate a game and they don't even make an attempt to buy it in the future, they weren't going to buy it in the first place. Let's be honest with that. So, you know. But anyway, yes, Basically, if you have a Switch and you want to crack it, you can. There's been a full dump of the information available online. If that's something you want to do, not something that I want to do, but it's still interesting regardless. And my phone just hit the little lens cap in my pocket. Hooray! Noises, random noises in videos. Let's end the show. That brings us to the end of another GC Informer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe or share whatever you fancy. Our social links are down in the description with a link to our Discord where you can join in some public chat with us. Stay tuned to our broadcast at around 12 PM CST every Saturday, with one coming a little bit later in the same day where we get all of our content for the upcoming week. Broadcast in a nice little package like that. It's about 3 hours of solid GameCast content. All of it's really good, including my new show called Creative Corner, which is quite nice. And also, not this week coming, but the week after, I will be recording another movie podcast with Sully, hopefully. This time covering the new Avengers film. This follows on from our special Star Wars one around Christmas time. We're going to be doing one about Avengers. This isn't going to be a common thing. This is just for the really major movie releases, usually the nerdy ones as well. So it'll be comic book movies or Star Wars, that kind of thing. So we're going to do that. That'll be in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I will see you soon for more news.